In July 1969, while the world was staring at the moon, getting ready for humanity's giant leap, three couples parked by Lake Worth, Texas, ran into a homegrown nightmare. A creature, something they described as a horrifying mix of man and goat, didn't just scare them, it attacked. It launched itself out of the darkness, landed with a heavy thud on their car, and left a deep 18-inch scar down the side. This wasn't just a spooky campfire story. This was a real event, with a police investigation, front-page newspaper coverage, and multiple eyewitnesses. Tonight, we are digging into the legend that blurred the lines between terrifying fact and local folklore. What really happened during the hot Texas summer of the Lake Worth monster? This is Scary Stories Files. The summer of 1969 was a wild time. It was the summer of Woodstock, the summer of change, and of course, the summer of the Apollo 11 mission. But in Fort Worth, Texas, the talk of the town wasn't about outer space. It was about something much closer to home, something that felt like it had clawed its way out of a forgotten world. Lake Worth and a small peninsula known as Greer Island was a popular local hangout. By day, people fished and relaxed along the shoreline. By night, it became a quiet lover's lane. Dark roads, dense trees, and very little light made it the perfect place for rumors to grow. And on the night of July 9th, 1969, for 6 young people, those rumors became terrifyingly real. 3 couples, including John Reichardt and his wife, were parked together, enjoying the warm summer air when the silence was broken. It wasn't insects. It wasn't wind. It was something heavy, something moving fast. Without warning, a massive shape burst from the tree line and slammed onto the roof of their car. Panic took over instantly. The creature appeared as a chaotic silhouette in the darkness, described later as a bizarre mix of fur and scales. According to police reports, it lunged toward one of the women before John Reichardt threw the car into gear and sped away. When they finally stopped under a streetlight, their fear turned into shock. Running down the side of the car was a deep 18-inch scratch. Something had attacked them, something real. The couples went straight to the Fort Worth police. Officers initially doubted the story, but the witnesses were visibly shaken, and the damage to the car was undeniable. A dispatcher later admitted similar reports had been dismissed in prior months. This time was different. The next day, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram ran the headline that changed everything. Fishy man-goat terrifies couples parked at Lake Worth. From that moment on, the Lake Worth monster became front-page news. Descriptions of the creature spread quickly. Witnesses claimed it stood nearly 7 feet tall, weighed over 250 pounds, and walked upright. Some said it had horns. Others claimed it had claws capable of ripping metal. Its fur appeared white or gray, but some insisted it had reptilian scales. Police patrols increased around Greer Island, but official searches were quickly overwhelmed by the public. Hundreds of people flooded the area nightly, armed with flashlights, cameras, and guns. Everyone wanted proof. The very next night, dozens of witnesses, including sheriff's deputies, saw the creature standing on a bluff overlooking the lake. It moved back and forth, making what some described as a painful, almost human cry. Then it did something unbelievable. The creature picked up an automobile tire with the rim still attached and hurled it toward the crowd. Panic exploded as people ran for cover. Reports claimed the tire flew hundreds of feet. From that moment on, the legend was unstoppable. Reports of mutilated animals followed. Strange footprints appeared near the lake. A photographer captured a blurry image of a large white shape near the road. For believers, it was proof. For skeptics, it was still unsettling. As summer ended, sightings stopped abruptly, right as school resumed. Decades later, an anonymous letter surfaced, claiming the entire incident was a prank orchestrated by local high school students using costumes and staged scares. Former officials supported parts of the claim. Even the photographer later admitted he believed the figure wanted to be seen. And yet, that first attack, that scratch on the car, the terror in the witnesses' voices, some questions never fully disappeared. The Lake Worth monster remains one of America's most fascinating cases of mass fear, media frenzy, and folklore. Whether it was a prank that spiraled out of control or something stranger that vanished just in time, one thing is certain. That summer left scars on metal, on memory, and on a city. This is Scary Stories Files. If you enjoy real stories that blur the line between legend and reality, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Because some stories don't need monsters to be terrifying. They just need people who were there.